Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
All right, guys, we're back. There is plenty to talk about, so we're going to jump right in. In Checked Out, we didn't really watch anything except for The Mandalorian, Episode 4, The Foundling. I'm glad they learned the lesson from Episode 3 and not do some weird jump-off take in another story we don't care about. This one was pretty fun. It was kind of like The Mandalorians, like, what would happen if all of them hung out together and went on an adventure? It was a simple story. I liked it.
Yeah, here's the thing, though. I enjoyed it. But is this what we're doing with The Mandalorian now? Are they just going to be like self-contained episodes for the rest of the season? Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question, actually. There doesn't seem to be a big overarching story that has developed.
And I really
guess
thought
there's one with Bo-Katan, sort of, but it's kind of light at this point.
I mean, I thought the story was going to be, and look, the show is fine. I enjoy the show, but I have been conditioned to think that this limited series is like chapters in a story that go somewhere, right? Like the first season had an overarching story. The second one had an overarching story. Now, the first and the second season essentially had the same overarching story, right? Like, we got to get this cargo to someone else, right? And then we got to get this kid to a Jedi, right? Like that's kind of, so I appreciate the fact that they're doing so that they need to do something different, but I don't know. I guess I thought, the first episode was kind of a filler. Every episode feels like filler. And in the first episode, I gave it slack because like we're jumping back in, we got to remember like where we are or whatever. I thought the second episode where I thought the story was going to be throughout the season was going to be about him kind of reclaiming his honor as a Mandalorian. Right. I thought we were getting ready to go on this grand adventure to, jump in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. And I thought that was going to be like the adventure. Right. And no, we just did that in an episode.
Yeah. We did that in an episode. First episode. He hasn't done any of that since. I've only watched the first episode.
So
the first episode, he went and saw Carl Weathers and was like, "Yo, Carl Weathers, what's up, bro?" And then the second episode, he was like, "Man, I gotta get my honor back, right? Because I had the audacity to take my hot ass helmet off on this desert planet because I needed some fresh air." And then he found Bo-Katan and he did it. And then like the third episode was like, okay, now we coming back. And that didn't take long because we got a whole 20-minute side story that featured no Mandalorians, right?
That side story was it was an interesting side story. It was just like, but why is this here?
You got to do it.
It was very interesting. It was very interesting, but kind of wanted to see the Mandalorians. Right. And then this story, we get the Mandalorians, right? But we're just kind of on adventures, on like single show adventures. And that's fine. Like I don't have a problem with it. It just wasn't what I was expecting. And I'm a little disappointed. I don't feel the need to rush out to see it. Like I watched it today. Right. And it comes out on Wednesdays. Right. I don't feel the need. It's not appointment television anymore.
Right. So I would agree. Like I was like, oh, it's Wednesday. Like I watch it when I have my lunch or whatever, but I wasn't like, oh shit, it's 8 a.m. Like not like that. But what is interesting is I think that they're trying to build to this sort of Bo-Katan story of her kind of deep understanding of Mandalorian lore and like, of those people and all that. Cause she's like from royalty. So I guess she's kind of disconnected from like the regular, this like basically this cult. of like these hardcore Mandalorians. So I think that's kind of the point, but it's been kind of touched at lightly. They don't seem to be making a big overarching thing. So I don't know. Next episode is episode 5. I assume the season is what, 8 to 10 episodes?
8.
Maybe it's 8. Well, if
we're halfway done,
right? If the story's coming, it needs to get moving now, right? Like it needs to start happening in episode 5, and maybe that's what they're doing, right? Like a couple of single point adventures, and then like we're gonna finish it out on some like big thing so that you can end the season. I don't know. It was cool to see another Jedi and the Order 66 stuff. I thought that was kind of fun.
You know who that guy is? The actor?
Is that Rob Bass? Kind of look like him.
That is the actor who voiced Jar Jar Binks.
Oh, really?
Yes, that is.
Oh, that's kind of a good redemption for him.
Binks. That is a very good redemption for him, and I'm very happy for him because that guy contemplated suicide because people were harassing him over Jar Jar Binks because Star Wars is the worst fandom ever.
It is. It is. Look, you guys are, when you're positive, you're really positive. When you're negative, you're the worst. You're the worst. Because they did that to the kid who played Anakin too. Right? Like they were harassing him.
They did it to the kid who played Anakin. They did it to the woman who was in the Last Jedi.
Yeah, Rose. Yep.
So
yeah, like, yo, come on, yo. Like, they're just actors, yo. Like it's just a gig for them. Like you don't have to do that. Like you can hate the character. It's not a real person.
Yeah, I don't like the character. Quite frankly, I think the character is coonish.
Yes.
Right? You go, oh there, hey, Mr. Jedi.
Yeah.
Mr. Gungan.
Yeah.
Like, nah, yo. I don't like that shit. But I didn't go and I didn't feel the need to go and harass this black dude for sounding like a alien mushmouth.
You went on IMDb, you searched the guy's name, you found out where. I'm like, yo, leave this guy alone. Like he's probably embarrassed too. Like I would be, but that's a cool redemption story for him. So that's dope. All right, I like it.
Speaking of fandoms, have either of you watched Swarm? That show on.
I have.
No, I want to watch it. Is it gory? Like my wife wants to watch it, but like she can't handle like anything that's not gun violence.
It gets pretty violent. Yeah, I would say some scenes are pretty violent.
How many episodes is it?
I've only watched the first 4 or 5. I think it's 9. Okay. It's pretty good. Dominique Fishback. I actually really like her as an actress.
She is good.
She's great. It's about a obsessed fan that goes on a fucking murdering spree because something wild happens to her in the first episode. It's pretty fucked up. And like she's clearly like not all there or hasn't always been there. Like she's got some issues. They don't actually like say anything, but like her character has some problems. It's pretty good. I did read an article earlier about Donald Glover hating black women because of the show.
I heard that. Yeah,
I was like, okay, I didn't know that was a thing. Because
y'all just write anything, yo.
Dominic Fishback said that he didn't really give her any direction. Because like actors want to know like what's her motivation and all that other kind of shit. And he's like, just wing it. And someone's like, yeah, that's him hating black women. I'm like,
or that's a director having faith in their actors.
In their actress. Right, exactly. But who am I? I'm a black man. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a wild leap, yo. That's a wild leap.
It was crazy. But no, it's pretty good. Clearly it's based off of the Beehive, and that fandom is fucking nuts also. Like y'all can come for me. I don't give a fuck. Y'all are crazy.
Yeah, no.
And I love Beyonce. Like her last 3 albums have been fucking amazing.
I've never listened to a full Beyonce album. Sorry. I haven't. I think she's incredibly talented, but it's just not music that I'm dying to listen to all the time.
Like I like Beyonce, Lemonade. This one, like I love like house music and shit like that, and that's kind of what the last one was. But it's like a half and half R&B, like dance and shit like that. It was pretty dope. But yeah, I like her music.
My daughter really enjoys
out of control.
My daughter enjoys was it Break My Soul? She likes that song.
Yeah.
Or as she likes to joke, because she's quite the comedian at 3, she thinks the lyrics should be "Break My Toe," and she just laughs herself silly. It's like, that's very funny. Can we stop listening to this song for the 12th time?
Right.
I mean, you could get like a Weird Al style parody of like, "You won't break my toe." Like,
that's pretty funny actually.
That is pretty funny.
She
must get it from her mother.
Yeah. That's what I say.
But the show's good. And like all of the actors are like Paris Jackson is in it, Rory Culkin is in it. There's a whole bunch of just guest stars in this fucking show, like just out of the blue. It's crazy how many people he got to star in it. Chloe Bailey is in the first 3 minutes.
I heard about her scene. Everybody was all in a tizzy about it.
I saw it. I didn't know who it was. Because Damson Idris was essentially blowing her back out, and it was an Insecure type scene, you know, like that kind of. You remember when
I know
Lawrence
what you're talking
fucking
about.
the shit out of that? It was similar to that, but it was Chloe and it was her. I was like, God damn, she is double cheeked up on a Thursday afternoon, like a motherfucker. Good Lord. But that was what I got. That was what I got from the scene. Like, right, she is a blessed individual. That's all I'll say. The scene itself, whatever. I've seen porn. I'm 40 years old. So they didn't really do anything for me. But yeah, she's a very attractive woman. But it was only like 15 seconds.
Yeah, people were making a big deal about it.
Yeah, like,
way too big of a deal. I'm like, no, TV is not real.
Like, relax. It's not that serious. But yeah, it's pretty good. That chick is fucking nuts. Like it's definitely made by that nigga because it goes to some wild places.
That's cool. I've really heard nothing but good things. I do want to watch it. Here's a quick thing that I watch. I won't even put it on the docket. I had never seen it in full. I've watched Mulan 7,000 times in the last week. My daughter just discovered Mulan. She really is a huge
the animated Mulan or the live action Mulan? Because
no, just the animated.
Very different.
The animated.
Yeah. I heard the live action is like wildly different. No, the animated one. Here's a fun fact.
It's actually a really good movie.
It really is a good movie. I like for me, I think Mulan and Brave are my 2 favorite movies that I've seen recently for Disney animated movies. The main song from that, I'll Make a Man Out of You, right? Like, great song. I'm pretty sure it won awards. If it didn't, it should have. Do you know who sings that song? Because it's not B.D. Wong who plays the character Shang, right? Which is kind of funny that they changed like who sings it, because normally, like in new Disney movies, if you were play the character, you sing the songs, kind of thing.
Well, that was 90. So
what's that?
That came out in the 90s. So they always
in the 90s.
Yeah. So they always had someone sing and then do the voiceover.
Yeah.
It's 2 separate people.
Yeah, it's 2 separate people. Yeah. B.D. Wong plays the character. What's the guy's name? Sings it. Donny Osmond. It's the singer for that song, which is wild.
This thing was a little offensive, actually.
But you know what? The song's really good. It's a really good song. But I was just like, we were listening to the soundtrack. I'm like, Donny Osmond? Like, what the fuck? They found the whitest guy they could find to do this?
I'm like, to do an Asian man singing? Okay.
But you know what? It's pretty good. That
was a good song. It
is a good song.
I mean, it goes the other way too, right? Jonathan Taylor Thomas was singing.
He played some
right. And Jonathan Taylor Thomas don't sing like a young black boy. So
who was that? That was God damn, what is his name?
Oh, I forget.
Michael Jackson.
Remember. Yeah.
Well, and it's funny because there's a whole story about that. Like Disney wanted to play the young black singer. I forget his name. They wanted to pay him like $1 million or something to do it, or like $2 million. And his mom was his agent, was like, nope, nah. Like, if Disney want to pay us $2 million, they know they got themselves a hit. She was like, they got like 1% of the profits off that movie. So they made bank. They were like, nah, $2 million is not enough. Like, look, don't take that first offer.
Smart.
Just very fucking smart. He'll have to do no other work. Lion King makes tons of money. That song must have made, probably $1 or $2 billion, like with toys and all the other shit surrounding that film. All right, let's jump into topics this week.
Sad news, actor Lance Reddick, best known for his work in Destiny 2, and not necessarily...
Is that what he's best known for?
That's what he's best known for in this house. And a little show called The Wire on HBO.
I'm about to say in this house. Last time your wife played Destiny.
She's a big Destiny fan. Can't get enough.
Huge Destiny
fan. He died very recently, and he was only 60.
Fucking sucks.
60 is no age to die, man. It really isn't. You're entering your third act, and it was very sad. And so he was in a lot of stuff. He was in Fringe, John Wick, The Wire. He was one of those actors that's, I think he's bigger than a character actor, right? Like character actors are usually just like people who are really good actors, but like aren't conventionally attractive.
Yeah.
Whereas, right. Steve Buscemi,
right.
who was the dude from that wine movie, Sideways? Paul Giamatti.
Paul Giamatti. Yeah, that's a perfect character actor. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. But Lance was a very handsome dude. He was an incredible actor. He was also a really good singer. He's got an album out.
Really?
And he's got an album out. I think it came out in like 2017 or something like that. If you like jazz soul music,
I'm black.
Then check it out. But it's wild to hear it. But then when you hear it, it's like, well, of course Lance Reddick has an album. Listen to his voice, right?
Yeah, he's a great voice.
So yeah, apparently he was a big Destiny fan. Like he didn't just voice the character, like he played the game.
Right.
And someone found his tag, and he had some like ridiculous amount of hours like just in Destiny 2. He was literally playing it the day before he died.
Wow.
He was also one of those actors that was not afraid. Like he wasn't an actor that ever thought he was too good for a role if he liked the role.
No, he
right?
did
like,
anything. He was all over it.
He and not to say that he wasn't discerning in what he chose, right?
Like no, that's not my implication.
Not right. I know, but I'm just reiterating that, right? Like he would do stuff like be Lieutenant Daniels, right? Or he would do stuff like that Funny or Die thing. Toys Are Me. Toys Are Me is hilarious.
So good.
The hog is what I call my penis. Jesus Christ.
He is a very funny dude, man. He really was.
He was also in the show on Comedy Central that nobody watched, that it's a crying shame. It was called Corporate. And he was he played the boss of this like company, and it's a workplace comedy, but like a dark comedy. If you find it, you should check it out. I think you two would actually really like Corporate, but Comedy Central like doesn't promote shit. But yeah, Lance Reddick was a great actor, man, and from all accounts, he was a great human being, which is something that we don't really talk about until someone passes away. Like we rightfully talk about like scumbags and people who like invite women to their place so they can jerk off on them and shit like that. But
gross.
Like we need to talk about like the good people, especially while they're here.
Yep.
So safe home too.
I never actually heard him speak outside of a character until like last year.
You didn't watch The Wire? You mean? I'm sorry. Oh, you mean like in interviews and
that
stuff?
voice that he does is not his normal fucking voice.
No, he doesn't talk all the time.
Like I was like, I heard him in an interview. I'm like, who the fuck is this nigga? Like when I heard him talking, I'm like, that's not you. I thought that was how he always spoke. Every character that he's done, he uses that same voice. And that's not how he sounded at all. It just sounded sounded like a fucking surfer dude from Baltimore. It was weird. Threw me off a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. It threw me all the way off. I'm like, okay, all right, Lieutenant Daniels, that's weird. But no, he's like you said, all accounts, he seemed like he was a dope dude, just in general. And apparently after he passed, his wife said, any like donations that you have to send to this thing called momcares.org or something like that. It's this organization here in Baltimore that helps like underprivileged moms to take care of their children and shit like this. I'm like, even in death, still giving back. Fucking dope.
Well, this is really
60
sad.
years old, man.
Hey, man, you got to appreciate people while they're here. You really do.
Yep.
All right, let's go.
Paramount Pictures has preemptively acquired a remake of Alfred Hitchcock's 1958 classic psychological thriller, Vertigo, as a possible starring vehicle for Robert Downey II. The actor is producing the project with his wife, Susan Downey, the first, through their Team Downey production company.
That's clever.
Yeah, thank you. Like, just like Will Smith's production company is like Will Smith's production company is like Overbrook or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Like just like variety. Like, be creative. You're an actor, for God's sakes.
I mean, shit. Even Oprah's is Harpo. Like, that's at least creative, right?
Right. At least it took a little bit of thought. Like, not a lot, right? My name backwards, right? Like, but
you know, her name is not Oprah.
Is not?
Nope. It's like Orpah.
What is her name? Like wait, what?
Yeah, it's Orpah. I'm not joking. I'm serious. I'm dead ass serious. But people,
I mean, she was like, "This doesn't work. This doesn't work."
No, people kept fucking her name up, calling her Oprah. So she's just like, "Fuck it, whatever, it's fine." Her name is Orpah Gail Winfrey. Yeah, I'm serious. Orpah Gail Winfrey is her real name. ORPH.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that's wild.
Orpah.
That's so weird. That's a wild name. Like, I would have stuck with Oprah also, but you know, her real name is Orpah. Little trivia for you guys.
Yo, I did not know.
Today I learned.
Right. Oprah been around for 70 years, and I've never known that her name was Orpah.
That's wild.
That sounds too close to Orca, yo.
Right.
Like I don't like that.
I don't like that.
I don't like that, yo. Oh, your parents, you're from Mississippi. That's why.
Yeah. They're like, we never seen that.
Her name backwards would be Hapro. What the fuck?
Yeah, that doesn't work. That's why she changed it. She was like, I got a production name idea. Like, let's just move the letters around. That's wild. Wow.
That is, that's weird. Do you know Will Smith's name by any chance? It's not William.
It's Willard.
Yeah, it's Willard. I'm going to start calling that nigga Willard.
Well,
Willard,
the rat guy. Carol. Willard
Carroll Smith.
Yes, that's his name.
No, thank you.
Well, what do you expect from Philadelphia? I don't know what to tell you. Look, I've never seen Vertigo.
I think I've seen it years ago. Like a long ago.
So the original Vertigo starred Jimmy Stewart, a San Francisco police detective who retires due to a paralyzing fear of heights brought on by severe case of vertigo. After he's hired to tail his acquaintance's wife, he becomes obsessed with her, but his fears render him powerless to save her when she climbs the tower of a Spanish mansion and plunges to her death, and then things get truly strange. Okay, I feel like Robert Downey Jr. Could pull that off, probably quite easily. I mean, I just remember. I mean, he's been pretty low profile since Endgame, but I just remember that scene in Endgame where he's like, once he comes back and he's all like thin and sickly, and he has that like argument with Cap. Like, he can still do drama really well. Like he can bring it when he needs to. So it'd be cool to see him do something that is completely not comic book related and just like really throw it all into something like this. So I look forward to that.
Yeah, I mean, he played a character who played a character in blackface and didn't get any blowback from it. Like,
he's gotten it. He's gotten it lately because the internet is a bunch of
stupid.
All right, yo. All right. Nobody said anything while the movie was out, but
because back then people understood fucking subtext, and nobody. The 12-year-olds watching it now, tweeting about it, are fucking stupid. If you complain about that movie, you're fucking dumb. Like, you're dumb. You don't understand the context of the movie. Like, it's fine. It's cool. Don't worry about it. We're all dumb about something. You're dumb about that.
That movie's fucking hilarious.
It's fucking hysterical. Like, the whole point is making fun of white people for doing that. That's the whole point of the movie. Shut up. God damn it. The movie's been out for like 20 years at this point. All right, next up.
It's been heavily rumored for a while now, but we at this website have received more reliable, from a reliable source, that Deadpool 3 will indeed feature the TVA with Agent Moebius and Miss Minutes expected to appear. Ryan Reynolds, whose company was just sold to T-Mobile for $1 billion.
$1 billion fucking dollars.
Yeah, dude. God damn.
I know a lot of people was like, yeah, I'm thinking, I went to Mint for a little bit. It was cool. Now it's at T-Mobile, so I don't know how that's going to work. Are they going to keep the same prices? Because it was very cheap. It's like $15 a month.
Yeah. Spoiler alerts. No.
Yeah, right.
That shit is a wrap, son.
Yeah, usually when a company spends that kind of money, they can't wait to fuck up a good thing. So yeah, apparently Moebius and Miss Minutes and all. So when Deadpool 3 comes in, it's going to involve the TVA, which I would think makes sense, given that world is kind of outside of the Marvel timeline that we know and care about, the Disney Marvel timeline. And it's a perfect way to get that character and pull him into the sacred timeline.
Yeah.
Or,
makes sense.
That's fine. I'm totally fine with that. Also, anything to get Tara Strong in a movie, I'm fine with. She plays Miss Minutes. I'm cool with this. I mean, it's just a rumor, but whatever. I'm down.
Yeah, it just makes sense. Like, him taking on the TVA or having to deal with the TVA because of the shit in Deadpool 2. That's kind of fun. Like, all right, well, you're jumping back in time and stuff. All right, now you got to deal with these guys. Like, and then that's, like you said, that's an easy way to pull them in. So yeah, all right, makes sense to me.
Look, we on this podcast, we haven't talked about him in a while, but
this nigga.
I think it's time that we pat ourselves on the back. Because we've been saying this for a while.
I feel like we get a collective dude. I told you.
Yeah, you goddamn right we do.
Yeah,
you goddamn right.
Right. Like, come on now.
The Rock reportedly tried to bend DC Studios to his will and ultimately got himself and Henry Cavill fired while tanking the next superhero movie at the box office.
Cool, bro. Good.
The turns out Dwayne Johnson, also known as The Rock, reportedly pressured DC Studios on creative decisions when he made his long-awaited debut as the dominant comic book genre. Johnson's plan of becoming the apex of the DC universe backfired in a matter of months when both he and the past decade's Superman, Henry Cavill, were unceremoniously sacked in last December by DC Studios. Now, the latest offering from DC bombed so badly that some critics thought it didn't make a mark. The movie only made an estimated $30.5 million. We're talking about Shazam! Fury of the Gods. Its opening weekend far below the $53 million that the first installment in the series earned in its first week. And it seems The Rock had a little to do with that. Johnson reportedly turned down the idea of sharing space with Levi in a post-credit scene, typically a short yet important snippet at the end. We all know what a fucking... All right. When promoting Black Adam, Johnson promoted his face-off with Superman, played by Cavill, undermining Shazam in the public eye. And Levi seems to have confirmed the bad blood on social media, reposting a story to his Instagram about the Raps report on Johnson's refusal to work with him. Quote, Dwayne tries to sell himself as bigger than the movie, a Hollywood executive told the Rap under anonymity. Instead of making a movie, he wants to extend his brand and make a brand centered on himself. Dude, we told you. This nigga does not care about acting. He does not care about the shit. He does not care about you. He cares about your dollar. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. Look, I'm not mad at it. It's a capitalist society that we live in. If we're gonna play that game, he is trying to play it. I understand. It's just fucking obnoxious. Don't. All right, yo. All right.
Like he's worth like $700 million or some shit like that. And I get it. Like he's like one of the hardest working men in Hollywood. Like, are we going to pretend that his movies are good? Like he just does a lot of movies, but let's not pretend they're good. They're not good.
No. And he
just does a lot of them. And I like The Rock.
I like The Rock. I like. Well, I'm starting to not like him, but I do like Skyscraper. Right? I like Skyscraper.
Yeah, that's a dumb fucking movie. I like Faster. That's one of his best movies to me personally.
Agreed on all counts, guys. Agreed on all counts. But look, I'm gonna sip some Terramana. Is that what we're drinking?
Apparently,
you're a big terrible mana.
Because I watched this YouTube video of this guy because everyone has tequila out right now, right? Well, every celebrity.
Kevin Hart does too. Yep.
Right. And this guy is like, and his YouTube page is basically he like tests wine or like tequila, and he's like, yeah, most celebrity tequilas are trash. This is the tequila you want to buy. Yeah. Casamigos is like one of the best.
Yes,
out of all of it.
That's what I hear. Yeah.
But like all of the rest of them are garbage, so don't buy it because you're just wasting your fucking money. And he was like, yeah, Terramana is trash. But anyway, continue.
So,
Jay, you're a big fitness guy. Do you drink Zoa energy drink?
I've never seen a Zoa energy drink in a store. I don't know what the can looks like.
It's not real. It's not even real.
I don't know what the can looks like. I have no idea.
It has him on it. I'm pretty sure, isn't he? Like,
does it?
Isn't he in it? No, I don't drink energy drinks. That's ridiculous. This is not a surprise to me. I think he would have gone. I think it would have done so much better if he had centered the Shazam fight, because that's what comic book fans and fans of the franchise wanted to see. Even at the end, the teaser at the end of the first Shazam movie, they all sit down at these seats, right? Like in the fucking secret lair or whatever. They all sit down in the seats and they're like, there's one more seat. Who is that for? Clearly that's Black Adam's seat, right? Like, duh. Like, it's not that fucking hard. The next movie should have been them meeting. They didn't have to fight. It should have teed it up for the third movie being like, Zachary Levi gets a movie. The Rock gets a movie, which is unnecessary. Zachary Levi gets a second movie because he's the hero. And then in the third Zachary Levi movie, that's when they fight. Yeah, wouldn't have been hard.
Look, fights the villain,
right?
Who was Black Adam, but fucking The Rock wanted to jump the line.
if he played his cards right, he could have got what he always wanted, right? He could have gotten a fight he could have been so powerful that he fought Superman and Shazam at the same time in a movie, right?
Because it's literally happening.
You dominate one, and then you dominate the other, and then those two have to come together because he's such a badass that it takes two men to take him down. Like, that's how he could have played it. But no, he wanted to be a hero. He wanted to be a hero. And you wanted to be a hero, but you didn't want to be a hero. Like,
yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Also, you played a villain in the WWE for like 2 years straight, bro. What's the problem?
Well, just play the character, right? Just play the villain, man. Also, from his perspective, I don't even understand why he would try to make Black Adam a hero. It's better to make Black Adam who he is, a villain, have him lose, and then, like, he doesn't have to die. Like, he gets contained or whatever. Then you can take time off, do other movies or whatever. If they decide to bring you back, then you come back. But, like, if you're a hero, you got to be around and all this other shit. Or it made no sense. It made no sense.
Like, he could be 50. Redeemed.
And you're 50. You're 50. He's more jacked than he's ever been. Yo, stop it. Stop it. That shit pisses me off. I've never touched steroids. Nigga, you didn't have to touch them. Someone's putting them in you.
55-year-old fucking Black Adam. Well, I'm going to be in every... Like, what the fuck? This nigga's he's annoying, yeah. He's really getting on my fucking nerves.
And so, by the way... Yeah, he did ruin it. But he also, by the way, he stopped them from putting the JSA in Fury of the Gods, too. Like, he was like, no. I told you, I said this on the show, that he was aiming to have a much larger role in controlling what the DC universe did. And luckily, before it all completely fell the fuck apart, they got him the fuck out of there. Because he absolutely would have taken it over. Because the management over the DC universe was so fucking weak that they just let this guy, just because he's physically big, they were just like, oh, I guess we'll let The Rock run it. What?
Like,
the $7 production people? Get the fuck out.
You know what happens when you let the inmates run the asylum? Vince McMahon buys your company. That's what happened with WCW, man. Like, they gave the NWO
they gave all the creative control.
What?
They gave all the creative. Yeah.
That's what happened. And they had all these factions, and they started like the Wolfpack Red, Wolfpack Japan, the regular Wolfpack, NWO, and they were like, "Yo, this is ridiculous," and they were losing money. And Vince was like, "Yoink." So this is basically the same shit. That's what happened. They gave this creative control to The Rock, and now he's not in the DC universe anymore. Dummy. Like, the fuck? That's what happened. Like, it's the exact same thing. Only with just one man. That's crazy. And look, people are like, blame. I saw somebody blame, like, well, the movie didn't do good because Zachary Levi is a anti-vaxxer. Like, that tweet came out like 3 weeks ago. Stop it. No one even saw that.
Look, here's a test.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Exactly. See?
But here's a test. Here's how I know that's bullshit. Here's a test. That Flash trailer came out. What was the response? That nigga was a criminal. He was a straight up criminal. And people are just like,
that looked kind of dope. Like,
I'm going to see that movie.
Look,
nah, yo, people don't give a fuck. Unless it's
here for Michael Keaton. Yeah.
Right. But unless it's some shit like he held somebody down and like sexually assaulted them, like people are like, is it on some R. Kelly shit? No? Oh, he just robbing niggas? I see that. I still see that. They don't care, yo. Anytime people turn on the NFL every Sunday to watch a bunch of criminals beat up another bunch of criminals and throw a football around. Knock it off. People don't give a fuck. For the most part, they don't care.
Anti-vaxxer is not a reason. Like, this looks fucking cheap. I don't know. That's what I said. I'm like,
it looked cheap to me as well.
I heard it wasn't that bad, but
it would have done a lot better, and it probably would have rivaled the first movie, and maybe done a little bit better if you were pumping the fight between him and Black Adam. That fight got started or teased in the first movie, and it should have started to like pump up from this second movie all the way through, right? Like at the end of Black Adam, like like having Cavill show up was just fucking weird, and like the dialogue was weird, and it didn't really make any sense. Cavill didn't really like he wanted to be there anyway, but you could have definitely come up with a better ending that tied it to Shazam. Like, yeah, you could have, but he refused because Shazam was silly. Bitch, you're the jobber for Shazam. Okay, he's not the jobber for you. You're the jobber. Like, knock it off. You come around, he beats you up, and then goes and has better adventures. Knock it off.
Yeah, he's like, oh, that's silly. Your movie sucked, dog.
It wasn't
like,
good.
Black Adam sucks. It sucks.
Not a good movie.
It's a terrible movie. I feel like Shazam is probably a better movie than Black
The
Adam.
first movie is a better movie.
Oh, yeah, it is.
It is a better movie. Right. I had more fun with it. So, yeah, cool. So glad James Gunn is and Peter Safran have taken over. Get this shit out of here, yo. Get this out of here. But yeah, so they're fighting on Instagram. Cool.
Who?
I can't.
The Rock and Zachary Levi, like they're doing what rich guys should do when they have arguments. They're bitching on social media instead of like smacking each other in public.
Or like just not bitch and complain at all. You're like, you're all rich. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And even the director was like, I'm not doing these dumbass movies no more.
Yeah, he was like, I'm out.
Y'all niggas are getting on my
like, I can't stand you people. I can't stand you people. Like,
it's too much ego, man.
It's too fucking ridiculous, man.
I know I say this a lot. I know I say it a lot, but I feel like this is warranted. Can you imagine
trademark
what a $7 Productions DC cinematic universe would look like?
A mess, Joe. It would look like a mess.
What was Black Adam $7 Productions? I don't even know.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Oh,
that movie sucks.
Man.
Cheap,
a whole bunch
poorly
CGI,
written. Nothing.
A bunch of fucking needle drops that make no sense.
Inappropriate as fuck. Oh, is Kanye West rolling around being a Nazi with a fucking black mask on? Why don't we play Power, guys? Yo, it's a song, yo. You could just edit that out. Like, you could just put a different song over that. Like, nah, just fucking roll with it.
Oh, man. I forgot what I was going to say. So yeah, that's it. No, thank God. We're gonna get a Superman that doesn't that wants to help people and not want to, roll around the mud with Black Adam of all people.
And you know what the nice.
I'm so confused as to how you thought that was going to work. Like, Black Adam is going to be the center of your DCU. Look, these movies are made for everyone.
They're made for children, but
they're largely made for
teenagers. Like, how many? I mean, I guess. But like, is Black Adam like a child's favorite fucking character?
No.
Apparently, it's his.
Exactly.
Apparently, it's
What I'm
his.
saying,
He's
Adam,
always identified with this character.
Like, a lot of older folks love Black Adam.
Yeah, he's been around for a long time.
He's been around forever, right? So like, I feel, and he's not like necessarily like a super deep cut, but like, you have a fucking universe with Superman and Batman. How the fuck do you center your fucking universe around Black Adam?
If he wasn't so concerned about looking like a badass all the time, yo, he still could have pulled Shazam off, man. He could have done it. He could have been. I
still say that's the best. That would have been the best casting for him.
Yeah, man. Like,
it would have been.
He could have, and he's like, it's so weird, yo. I guess he's done. He's like tired of doing goofy movies. Like every Kevin Hart movie,
every movie coming out where he's like Santa's little helper or some shit, right?
But he looks badass. He's got fatigues on. And Santa looks badass. He's Santa's.
I can't wait. I can't wait to not watch it. I can't wait.
Like every Kevin Hart movie that he's done, he's kind of goofy in it, right? Like, and maybe it would have been too close to his Jumanji character, right?
His Jumanji character is his character in every movie. What are we talking about?
Yeah, so why not?
Like, what are you?
They're always in the jungle. They're always in the jungle.
That's what I'm saying. So why not do it for a superhero movie? Why not do it for Shazam?
Again, I've said this on the show before.
Weird,
like, yo, before all of this bullshit came down, and even probably still now, yo, every kid wants to be The Rock. Like, it would have been the easiest fucking thing of all time. You could have put some little Samoan kid actor on. Like, yeah, it would have worked. People are like, I can't believe they're making Shazam Samoa. It's like, yeah, it's The Rock. That's fine. Like, he's a universally liked guy. They would have just gotten over it and been like, he can do comedy. He's got good comedy chops. Like, the whole point of that character is that, yeah, he's a goofy kid, but he also grows up. Like, he realizes the responsibility of his powers and stuff like that. So you don't have to play the goofy idiot the whole time. You get serious over time. That's character growth. That's actually interesting. Like, why you didn't want to do that? Instead, you wanted to play the one-dimensional, oh, the man in black, here I come, lasers, yeah, lightning. Who cares? You know, it's so boring. It's so boring. I'm sitting on my throne. By the way, go back and watch that scene. That scene where he sits on the throne in Black Adam. It's to mimic a very famous Black Adam comic book cover.
I've seen that comic book cover.
Right. But watch when he sits down, he like weirdly moves his foot so it's in the exact place. It's so weird. He's like, very comfortable right now. No, you're not. No, you're not. You don't have to mimic it 100%. Just sit on the thing. You just look silly. But yeah, speaking of silly, there is going to be a meetup of morons, a cornucopia of bullshit. Zack Snyder's DCEU movies will be returning to theaters during what is being touted as SnyderCon. So come on out of your mom's basements, get that Cheeto dust off of your beards, and head on down to the Javits Center or wherever in New York to see SnyderCon. Shout out to one of our listeners, Charlie, who was like, the joke's on them, bots can't go to theaters. And I was like, you don't know that. You don't know that. Like, that's not true. Just like one of those segues with a screen on it. So just last week, Zack Snyder teased a mysterious message from Darkseid. Jerk off material. They got DCU fans talking. No, it didn't. It has now been officially revealed that the tease was leading up to the theatrical screening of Snyder's 3 DC movies, Man of Steel, Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and Zack Snyder's Justice League. So this big con, I'm sorry, I said New York. This is in LA. I apologize. Is happening next month. Friday, April 28th, there will be a Man of Steel screening and a post-film Q&A panel with Zack Snyder at the Art Center College of Design. Following day, Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice screening, followed by a fan signing with the Art Center College of Design. And then on Sunday, Zack Snyder's Justice League in IMAX screening and a post-film Q&A panel with Snyder at University City Walk.
Couldn't get the same venue 3 times.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. I mean, well, maybe they want to that place has maybe Universal City Walk is the one with a real IMAX screen. That could be the reason.
Is he doing his cut? That 4-hour cut?
A 4-hour cut.
Yeah. I mean, that's the better movie, but I'm not sitting in a motherfucking movie theater for 4 hours.
No.
Get the fuck out of here.
Not that movie. Not that movie. Been there, done that. Wasn't that impressed. Is this a good thing to just kind of keep this train a rolling, or does this feel like a bad idea?
I mean, I feel like it's. I feel like he thinks it's a good idea, but I don't know, man.
It ain't free. So
I would for him, I would want to focus on Rebel Moon if I were him. Look, I'm gonna watch Rebel Moon.
I can't.
I'm gonna watch it too. I'm gonna watch it, of course, because it looks absolutely ridiculous from the little bit that they've shown.
So, yeah, and apparently it's gonna have a world class like video game tie-in. I can't.
No, it's not.
Wait.
No,
I
not.
can't. I
No,
can't.
it's not.
Wait.
Who's developing the video game?
He doesn't know.
Exactly.
Oh, good. It'll be a phone game. All right, cool, great. So
mobile app.
So how many? And I mean this as nice as I can possibly say this. How many pay pigs do you think they'll be able to get to come to this event?
Like, I'll give them my cash app.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. That's how much money is it going to cost? That's my thing. Like, they like autograph signings and watching the movie with Zack Snyder. I mean, is this their kink? Are they going to like a whole bunch of dicks masturbating in the theater because they got to watch his mediocre movies with him in the theater with them, or what? How does that work? I don't get it. This seems like a terrible idea to me. It seems like the idea of a narcissist, but who am I?
It feels very much that he's becoming a massive narcissist about this entire property. Like, it's very fucking weird to me. Like, you know that people are being not just excited for your property, but becoming kind of like maniacs about it. And you would do this. That feels like a mistake to me. And that's where I'm going from, like, oh, that's cool, to like, kind of fuck you, dude. Like, it's a bit. Michael, you were saying?
Yeah, he's I don't think it's healthy to continue to stoke these flames. Like, I understand you need an ego to be a director, right? But this is. It feels like you're trying to take advantage of people. Like, it's one thing to want to do right by the fans, but like narcissists are saying that to justify doing what they want to do because of the fans want it. And yeah, man, like, and look, I can see how you could get a big head about this, because people associate director's cuts. They call them Snyder Cuts. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's yeah, I don't know, man. And like, director's cuts have
way too much stuff in them, which clearly we see that they have way too much stuff in them, because the fucking Snyder Cut of Justice League was 4 hours long. It didn't need to be that long. I mean, it fleshed out the story a little bit more, but it didn't need to be that long.
And it's not even like a 4 hours, like, oh, it's like 3 hours and 50 minutes. No, it's 4 hours. No, like, it's a solid 4 hours.
Yo, I started that movie when that came out. I got up and I started watching that movie at like 6 a.m. because, like, my daughter was little. I was like, I'm going to like try to get in as many hours as I can. And then I got to pause it, get her ready, drop her off, because I was like working. It was like working from home or something like that. Yo, it took me damn near all day. I think it was light when I started, or it was dark when I started, and it was dark when I finished. I'm like, God damn, what time is it? It's too long, yo. It's too long. It didn't need to be 4 hours. It's ridiculous.
I sat there in one sitting because I'm like, if I pause this, I'm not going to finish it. So I just sat. I sat and watched the full 4 hours. I started at 7 and ended at 12, or like 12 or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, okay, that was a thing that I don't need to watch ever again.
I went from 9 to around 1, and it was grueling.
it was an ordeal.
And what sucks is it is the better movie.
Yeah, like, it is. It's not even a question.
Far and away better, but like, it's also a very low bar to clear, right? Like,
yes,
a completed vision is better than a Frankenstein like mess.
Right. Like I get, in fairness to people who are fans of Snyder and everything else, like, I'm not a fan of Snyder's. It's just like, I don't need to have his entire penis in my mouth constantly when I talk about movies like these guys. But there's an image for you. Or don't, actually. But like, it's very weird because like people slammed Joss Whedon like, oh, your cut was the worst. Like that dude was just brought on to like Frankenstein the shit together. Like you've seen the movies he's made. Like you can talk shit all you want, but Avengers is still a better movie than Justice League. The Snyder Cut too. Like it's a better movie. It's more coherent and everything else. So it's not as if he can't make good movies. But it's really hard to come in and try to complete someone else's vision. Also be respectful because of the reason they left, right? Like you're trying to keep the large swath of the movie. Because remember, the reports before Snyder walked away, because he had to, because of the tragedy of his daughter, was the movie was unwatchable. So then you then bring in this other guy and be like, fix it. Like,
he's like, nigga, okay.
I guess we'll make Superman carry a bag. I don't know.
Add some color. I don't know. Add red.
Right. And they're two wildly different directors, right? Like, you would have been better off, like, getting Chris Nolan to come back and try to do it. Like, because that was the style he was trying to ape. Like, you pick somebody just because they did Avengers, like, and they're like, oh, that cut was terrible. Yeah, because he had to try to Frankenstein together. I guarantee you, starting from scratch, I guarantee you Joss Whedon could make a better fucking Justice League movie. I guarantee you he could. If he had his actors and shit like that he wanted, I guarantee you he'd make a better movie. But yeah, having the Frankenstein shit together is never an easy task. And look, Joss Whedon's a piece of shit. Like, it's not like I'm like, I love that guy. Like, he sucks too. But as a person, apparently. So,
hey, Joss Whedon. Hey, Joss Whedon, we understand that you made this immaculate meal using all these luscious ingredients and a fully stocked kitchen. Here's an air fryer. Make it for us.
Right. Oh, come on, Look how we work through all these movies to give you this like perfect scenario, and they're like, we have Batman versus Superman done.
Right. Take these frozen chicken tenders and make chicken cordon bleu.
You're right. Like, what are you gonna do with this? You suck if you can't do it. Yeah. Well, I guess I can. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird standard that you guys are standing on to like judge him on that. Like, come on, and not only did he have shitty movies leading up to it, but he had a half-done shitty movie already that he had to then Frankenstein together. It wasn't like, here are these two or three shitty movies, now make a Justice League movie. It was, oh, by the way, and we've already done 50 to 75% of the movie. Figure it out. Bro, these characters are wild. They don't make any sense. Like, come on.
Why is everybody so fucking unhappy? Jesus Christ.
Right.
Why is Superman so angry?
Why is Superman sad, yo? Like, he could do anything. Why are you mad?
It's like, I don't know. I guess I'll have him come in and say, hey guys, like, what's up? Like, yeah, come on.
The happiest guy there, the most joyful guy there is a guy that can talk to fish. Like, and swim. Like, all right, man.
I'm so glad that entire universe is dead. Like, it really is. Oh my God. This next story is really interesting. Transparent star Traceless and Patricia Clarkson play an estranged daughter and mother who connect in the movie Monica. The trailer is in the article. I think people should watch it. It's very good. The reason why I chose the article to talk about Traceless, if you've never seen the show Transparent, you should. It's very, very good. I believe it's on Amazon. It's about a guy who's like in his arguably like 60s who realizes he's transgender and starts transitioning. That actor, Jeffrey Tambor, which is wild.
I've seen the trailer for that show.
It's very good. Like, and it's about him transitioning and about like how his kids and his ex-wife deal with it and stuff like that. It's actually really fascinating. And it got canceled early. Like, I think it had like 4 seasons or something because Tambor apparently sexually assaulted somebody.
Right.
Or sexually harassed somebody. And Amazon was like, nope, we're done. But it was a great show. It was like really good. But Traceless was in that. She was in like the latter seasons, right? Like the last two. And she's very good in it. And she is trans. But what's interesting is this is the first, and it deals with the fact that like she leaves home early and transitions like in her like teens and hasn't been back to see her mother who rejected her. And then her mom gets sick and she has to come back, right? So it's kind of an interesting story. But I think her mom is having sort of mental issues, like dementia and shit like that. So the mom doesn't recognize who she is. And so she's trying to reconcile the situation, coming back as this woman now. But this is the first movie to star a it's marks the first time an openly transgender actress headlined a Venice competition title, because this is being premiered at the Venice Film Festival. I just thought that was really fascinating. It looks like the trailer looks really good. I do want to see it. It's coming to AMC Plus later this year, and it'll have a theater run as well, starting May 12th. So, and
it is interesting.
Yeah, and Traceless, that's a good actress. Like, she's very good. She did a good job in Transparent as well. So
maybe well, the people that need to watch it won't watch it, but maybe if we see, like, people don't know how to empathize with anyone unless they unless they see it in a movie,
or it happens to them,
or it happens directly to them.
It's very Republican.
So hopefully, you know, the people that need to see it, who probably won't see it, but will hear that it is something that is worth seeing. And you know what? Who am I?
Yeah,
people get mad about. People get mad about a black mermaid, yo. So I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
You're not going to see a movie that's led by a trans woman. Knock it off.
I mean, what if they don't know?
There aren't any guns in it. Nothing's being shot.
You know what? That's what needs to happen. Like that actually is a good point. You need a John Wick style movie starring a trans woman. That's what you need. That's what you need, right? Like back in the day, we needed like the Cosby Show to convince white people like black people were human and shit. Like we just lived in a house and acted normal. And like I feel like now, like conservatives, they need like a gun toting badass. They're like, I don't like that she's trans. She was fucking niggas up in that movie. like I feel like that's how you break through. Like you gotta just slowly put them in like Mad Max movies and shit like that. Like that's what you have to do. Like no big deal. That's how you fix it. But yeah, the trailer I thought looks really good. It seems like a pretty fascinating story. You know, more of that, man. Like give more people a chance. I think it's important. Next up, Apple and Amazon plan to spend billions on movies for the big screen. Pretty big gamble. Apple is reportedly planning to invest $1 billion per year to make films that play exclusively in theaters. The news, which was first reported by Bloomberg, comes months after Amazon's similar commitment to putting 12 to 15 new movies in theaters annually. Look, does that feel backwards? Right? Like I know a lot of companies are focused on streaming. Do you think that gives them an opportunity to sort of capture the theater market, or does it feel backwards? Like, you know, the streaming is clearly the future.
It depends on the movies that they're making.
Yeah,
because again, like this movie the movie that we just talked about. Like if that was a Apple exclusive movie, and they were going to exclusively put that in theaters, that's not a good idea. No one's going to see it. They'd be wasting their time. But if it's like a dope action movie, like if say something like Sisu, that's that movie with the fucking Norwegian dude just killing people. If that's like an Amazon or an Apple movie and they put that out in theaters, that movie looks fucking nuts. It looks like something you want to go out to see in a movie theater with like an audience. So if it's those types of movies or like a Lord of the Rings type shit, yeah. But if it's like dramas and all that other stuff, people are just going to wait for it to come out on streaming. And I don't think $1 billion is worth putting into that. Because people complain when those movies win Oscars and shit because they didn't see them.
Yeah, it is a little weird to complain about that when all the shit's on streaming now. It's a little hard. I didn't even know that existed. Yo, it's all right there. Like you don't even have to leave your house. It's crazy.
Right.
What do you think, Micah?
Yeah, I kind of echo what Terrence is saying. If you don't put a mid-budget movie in a theater anymore, unfortunately. If you're gonna put like, if you're gonna put like big, like crowd pleasing movies in, like that's what makes money. Because people don't give a fuck about cinema; they care about movies, and and people who make like low to mid budget movies, they just want people to see their work at a certain point.
Right. Like I just like, look, I'm a dope director. Please just watch my movie.
But look, that's how you get. But that's how you get offers to do big movies, right? Like,
right, exactly.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So yeah, I plus I do think that streaming and the theater going experience can go hand in hand. I feel like, look, the 90-day thing I think is it 90 days or is it 45?
No, it's 45 days, dude.
Even better. Like I think that is perfect for the hardcore like movie going person that wants to go see it and experience it, right? You can do that. And if you can wait, like for whatever reason, like you got a whiny kid at home or you know, you just two or you just don't have the time, right? Like then you can wait a month and a half.
Like Shazam Fury of the Gods. I'll be fine, yo. I like,
I can wait.
That's going to be me sitting right here and being like,
was it going to be on HBO Max?
Yeah,
let's go. 45 days? It's fine.
Yeah.
And like there's still a bunch of people that go to the movies. Like we got a bunch of people in Discord that go to like every fucking movie.
Yeah. I wish I had that time, but I don't.
Film Wanderer, that nigga goes to everything.
Film Wanderer. Yeah, yo.
Yeah,
like,
he goes,
damn.
Like how?
His AMC Stubs card is on fire, dude. Like they hate him. They're like, yo, we are not making money on this. We are losing money.
So those people still exist, and those people that want to go to the theater are going to go to the theater. It's just like there's a lot less of them now because streaming is really cool. They have the TVs, like pandemic TVs are awesome. Like you can watch it in 4K. You don't have to watch it on a dim fucking movie screen. I hate that shit.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just like sometimes it's a way better experience in the house. And if you got like a dope sound system or whatever, it's fine.
Also, the reason
sometimes you don't even need that. Sometimes you don't even need it, to be honest.
Right.
The reason that they are probably doing this also is like, let's be real. We're sharing passwords. Like
100%. 100%.
Right. Like nobody.
Not me.
Yeah.
But y'all.
Right. But like
the universal
passwords are being shared. And they're not going to they're not going to you need to recoup that money.
Oh, 100%.
So I 100% am for it. Look, only put
that's a lot of money to recoup. That's $1 billion they're throwing at these movies.
I mean it is. It is. Right, but guess what? Like, if I'm Apple, I'm just gonna charge $1,200 for a phone that costs $50 to make.
Yeah, you're gonna make that money back. You get it back on the back end. You'd be totally fine.
Amazon. I mean, look, I don't know what to tell you. Right? If I'm Amazon, I'm gonna continue to pay my hardworking employees pennies. And force them to walk miles a day to make sure that you get your knick-knack by 5 to 10 p.m.
You goddamn right.
They average 15 miles a day.
That's so fucking wild, man.
And that those tenants.
I average 5 miles a day. Like that's it. I walk about 5 miles a day. And that's definitely high. 15, god damn. My cousin works at Amazon. Yeah, she was like, She got in like great shape. I'm like, yeah, because you're walking your ass off. Like, I bet you are.
Yeah, it's nuts.
When my father was forced to retire, they he wanted to work because he's from that generation where like if you're not working 16 hours a day, you're lazy. Yeah. So he worked at an Under Armour facility. And it wore his ass out. And I mean, he was in his 60s, man. And it was the first time I've ever seen him just give up on a job. He just couldn't do it. And that's Under Armour. So I can only imagine what it's like at Amazon.
No, they have you peeing in bottles. No, you don't get no breaks. Keep going. Ride the robot to the next warehouse. Like, keep it fucking moving.
Have you seen how big that Amazon fucking building is?
Yes. It used to be a General Motors, yo. Yo, it used to be a General Motors, yo. Like, quite literally.
It's the size of 2 foot. No, I mean the new one they built. Or did they tear the General Motors down and like build an entire new building? Because like
they tore down General Motors, yeah, on Browning Highway or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, Brent. Yeah, that thing is the size of 2 football fields.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Put together.
Yeah, they used to make minivans there. And they were just like, I guess we'll just ship products.
Fucking massive, yo. Nah, man.
That's nuts.
That's why people be fucking dying in the motherfuckers. Like, cause sometimes the air ain't circulating properly.
Nope.
That's a lot of cardio. Yo.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm real good. Fuck that. All right. Next up, Victoria Alonso's surprise firing from Marvel Studios. This was kind of a big deal. Apparently, she's been with Marvel Studios before they were even bought by Disney since 2006. 3 years before Disney acquired them for $4 billion. She's been there for over 17 years, and she's been kind of a fixture, kind of at the top, right? Probably considered maybe the number 3 person, sort of. She was fired because the talk is that because Marvel was like sort of under the gun about like all the visuals and everything else. And, you know, like we all heard about these visual artists being like, they felt rushed by Marvel and it was just like these crazy deadline changes and all this other shit. She seemed to be largely responsible for the sort of shitty treatment towards these artists and like blacklisting them. So rumor has it, I don't know how true that is. Blacklisting artists who like didn't do what she needed them to do or got on her nerves about stuff. So apparently the people like above Kevin Feige were like, yeah, she's done. And like he couldn't even defend her. It was just like, not going to intervene. You got to go.
It's much like crunch in the video game industry.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like that.
And like visual effects slightly suffer. Again, they're not horrible. No visual effects are actually terrible in these fucking Marvel shows and movies. They're just not. Some are better than others.
They just lack polish. Some of them lack polish. Ant-Man, the visuals in Ant-Man were incredibly disappointing to me.
For where they were, it should have been next level. Like it really should have been. But I mean, this also coincides with them wanting to ramp down the amount of stuff they're putting out every year, which I think is actually a good thing. I actually don't think that's a bad thing at all. People read that as, see, Marvel sucks, that's why they're doing it. No, it's because it's just too much. They can't keep up with the pace themselves to make the products that they want to make. You shouldn't feel like you're burning out every time you're putting shit out. This article goes on to say, in 2021 and 2022, Marvel unloaded an unprecedented torrent of comic book adventures, releasing 17 titles, 7 movies and 8 streaming series, and 2 TV specials over 23 months. No one is doing that. No production company is putting out that much shit. And it's a production company that's only doing one thing. It's not like A24 who has different directors and everything, you know, like completely different teams. 23 months to do that much material? That's insane. And look, you can say whatever you want. Most of it's pretty good. Like largely, it's like there's not a lot of failures there, but that's too much. So they're talking about in this year they're supposed to put out 5 Disney Plus series. They're going to likely bring it down to 3 or 4. They should bring it down to 3. Like, do 3 a year. That's enough. I actually think that's more than enough. You could probably just do 2.
You could probably just do 2.
Yeah. Do your 3 movies. Do your 3 movies and then do 2 series. That's enough. I'm fine with that. Like, we're going to be all right. Like, spread the material out, dude. Like, I guess I'll be watching these things till I'm 55 years old. Like, it's fine. So, yeah, her firing is a big deal, but I actually don't think it's as big of a deal as people are making it out to be. Like, if she was pressuring people on, getting the art, the CGI and stuff like that and the effects done, and she was just being too much of a hard ass, all right, well, then she got to go. Like, if you're alienating people and they don't want to work with you, that's too much. So, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I try to be pro worker, right?
Yeah.
So if this woman is treating people like garbage, right? Nobody deserves crunch, right? Like Terrence made the video game analogy, and I think it's apt. Like, certain people in that industry feel like crunch is a badge of honor. Like, right. Oh, look how hard we're working. Like, nah, yo.
No, being overworked is not a fucking badge of honor. You're being taken
right. Right. And your product suffers because of it. Like, absolutely. I don't understand how people don't realize that. Because when you trap people at work, you think they're working?
Yeah, they just want to go home.
Yeah. Right. Most people don't work at 100% efficiency for 4 of the 8 work hours that they're there.
No.
So if you think adding another, 4 hours, adding another 8 hours to that you're getting more out of them. No, you're not. They're fucking off. They're miserable. And quite frankly, they're stealing your time.
Yeah, there was a recent study, like that big study of the 4-day work week, and they realized that like reducing one day didn't change productivity, didn't change output of the work that was getting done, like because people don't work like they're not robots. People don't work 8 hours straight, sit down at the desk and just start typing for 8 hours, and then they ring out at the end of the day. That's not how humans work. Most people can keep like 30 minutes, maybe an hour of like hardcore concentration, and then they have to take a break. Most people are like that. Me, it's like 30 minutes. It quite literally is. I mean, there was a report that like kind of most people don't do more than really like 2 to 3 hours of work during an 8-hour workday, for the most part. So what the fuck you keeping them there for like 10 hours for? Like, it's a waste. You get an extra 30 minutes? Like, maybe? And then it's subpar work, like Michael was saying. Like, I just want to leave. Yeah, I coded whatever. Just let me go.
Yes. Yeah, fuck off.
That's why all these games fucking suck.
Yeah, because they're trying to rush the shit out.
Quote unquote AAA games come out with just all the fucking bugs.
Yep, here's a day 1 5 gig patch.
Right, a day right. On,
how big was the patch for Assassin's Creed Unity? The French Assassin's Creed made by the French company. It was something like 50 gigs or some shit like that, because that
50 gigs.
Yo, that game
it was literally
out,
the entire game.
Yeah, yo, it was so bad, yo. Like, they had so many bugs and yo, I'm gonna see if I can find a couple.
Yo, that's a 50 gig patch. Yo, like, no, re-release the game to me. Yo. Like, I'm not downloading that. Yo, come on, that's crazy.
It was wild, man. It was. I couldn't believe it.
Yes. All right. What the
anyway.
fuck? What the fuck? Brought to you by JTD of the Edit
40
That
gigs.
Out podcast.
40 gigs. There you go.
No, that's
it was a 40 gig patch.
They had to re-download the entire game. Yeah.
Yo, that's fucking wild.
Because it was it was so fucked up. That's crazy.
All right, Michael, take it away.
This is quite literally the reason why my wife is afraid of spiders. A rare moment.
Australia.
In a rare moment, a tarantula releases oozing sac with 1,700 offspring. Normally I watch these videos, the videos that they have in these articles. I ain't watching this one.
No.
An enormous spider secretes her eggs into a silky web cushion suspended in a hole in the ground. The web netting is wrapped around the eggs. All right. I'm trying to find where this is. The pictures.
I'm good.
Yeah, this is just talking about how this is just talking about, like, they have a video of it, and this is just fucking gross. The article says the tarantulas are generally found in U.S., Mexico, and South America, but I believe this one is a Brazilian tarantula. Someone is quoted as saying, the egg sac opening was truly incredible. I was astounded and overjoyed at the results. Nah, yo, I didn't watch when my wife gave birth twice. I caught a sneak peek and I was horrified. So I'm not watching a tarantula secrete out a baby.
Yeah, no, thank you. I'm good.
You're not watching this video?
No, go fuck
yourself.
yourself.
Not watching
I'm fine. Like, I don't do spiders.
No,
I don't do spiders.
No. Nah, you on your own there, homie.
You said the word secrete. That's I don't need that. That's gross. I don't like that word.
It's right up there with moist. It's not a word I'm a huge fan of.
That's a word. Yeah, that's a word that we need to start putting back in the lexicon. Secrete. Just to freak people out.
Yeah, that's a gross word, man. It really is. Terrence, you're up.
Man who had his own penis, leg, and nipple removed ran a eunuch maker website that live streamed castrations to a paying audience. Court hears. Yeah. There you go.
These people will literally pay for anything. They will pay to watch anything.
Oink, oink.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, the inside jokes are hilarious. I listened to Black on Black, like right before we started.
Yo, I
have no idea what the fuck.
Yeah, we have to give you the background on that. It's pretty fucking funny.
A man who had his own penis, nipple, and leg removed has been accused of live streaming castrations on other men to pay an audience of his eunuch maker website.
Oh my God.
Marius Gustafsson was in the dock in a wheelchair, and along with 8 others was alleged to have performed extreme body modifications, including the removal of penises and testicles. Sounds like a terrible idea. The procedures were filmed and uploaded to the eunuch maker website he ran, and subscribers would pay to watch. Westminster Magistrates Court heard on Wednesday.
Jesus Christ, dude. Why?
He is said to have been the ringleader in a wide-ranging conspiracy involving up to 29 offenses of extreme body modifications, the removal of body parts, the trade in body parts, and the uploading of videos. You want to guess where this takes place?
Hell.
New Jersey?
I said hell.
I'm sorry, Philadelphia.
His name is Marius Gustafsson.
Yeah, so that's Italy, I guess.
Gustafsson? That's like Brad's people, right? They're like the Dutch.
I think you said Mario.
Marius
Gustafsson. I don't know.
It's Norway.
See?
All right. Fucking Gustafsson.
Okay. Brad is related to this person. A lot of people don't know that.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
Sorry. It's London. He's from Norway.
No. He's a criminal by way of Norway. No, we're giving that to Norway.
North London.
Yeah, he learned that shit over there.
Yeah. Him and Marcus Samuelson. That's why Marcus Samuelson became a chef. He used to cutting shit off.
Oh, man, that's so fucking awful. Like, what are you doing? That's just gross. This is gross.
Yikes. He had his own penis, leg, and nipple cut off? Like, what the fuck is wrong?
Yeah, please don't do that.
Just one?
Yeah, that seems like a weird choice. Just wanted to try it out first. My story. God damn, I hate that. I hate the people at this this particular online venue. People may need to call Rihanna for some umbrellas to weather this phenomenon of nature. Citizens of this place were told to find shelter after it looked like the place rained worms. A viral clip showed the area apparently being showered with little worms, which were splattered all over the cars. The video showed residents covering themselves with umbrellas as they go along with their routines and wander past. While the cause of the slimy creature calamity has yet to be uncovered, the scientific journal Mother Nature Network suggested that the animals were dropped after being swept up by heavy winds.
Or, it was one of God's plagues on Egypt. So that's what I'm going with. Egypt.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. God's plan.
China or Australia? I don't know. Worms?
You are correct, China. And this is from the New York Post, which is why they said that stupid Rihanna thing. God, they're the fucking worst. They're just the goddamn worst. They have no journalistic integrity whatsoever.
And no creativity, right? Like, just because she sang a song called Umbrella, like, okay.
I mean, these are the people who put out like 40 covers about Anthony Weiner, and they were all like dick jokes, like Weiner gets caught again. Weiner slammed in the door. Like, all right, like we got it. All right, his name.
Weiner gets choked like a chicken. All right.
It's terrible. Yeah. So it's raining worms in China. I feel like China's not a place I need to visit.
No,
I'd visit. I'd visit. Would I visit Hong Kong?
I would go to Hong Kong. Yeah, I feel like I would do that.
About it. And it's right on the water, so I can get I can get the hell out of there.
Yeah, I don't feel like I need to visit mainland China for a while. They got a lot going on over there.
I don't need to be landlocked in China.
No, I'm good. Trailers this week, just one. This is for Joyride. It's from the producers of Crazy Rich Asians, starring Stephanie Sue from Everywhere or Everything Everywhere All at Once.
She should have won the Academy Award.
She absolutely should have. 100%.
Should have.
Yeah. I actually
finished The Whale, and even she would have been better off winning it than fucking Jamie Lee Curtis. The wrong person won that award. 100%.
Yeah, that's clearly a legacy. It's clearly a legacy Oscar. I mean, there's no other reason for Jamie Lee Curtis to have won that. So this is about two friends, both of them being Asian or East Asian, and they kind of go back to find the one girl's adopted mom. I think this looks funny. Like, I'll watch this. This feels like a good streaming film for me. And I like to see East Asian folks getting a run. That's dope. Good for them.
Yeah, I would watch this on like a streaming. Like, this isn't like, it looks good, but it's got people in it that I like, but I don't know if I don't get a chance to go out to the movies as much as I would like. So I gotta ration these things out.
Right, you gotta pick.
Right.
Yeah,
makes sense. The one other thing I'll say about this movie is, I'm gonna need East Asian folks to now that they're getting looked at and things are going well for them, I need you to put that ladder down and pull the next people up. Like, that's your job, right? Like, they're South Asians, like they don't really get a big run in America. Like, help them out. Like, that should be the next thing. Like, you got an in. So like help people out coming behind you. That's the whole point. Yeah. We are always the tip of the spear. Guess what? It's your turn. Y'all up. Get that up. Help somebody else. Like that's the only thing. So I'm happy to see him getting a run. I think that's dope. There's not a lot of.
And I would also like to add, I am a fan of Stephanie Sue since I've seen her in Marvelous Miss Maisel. I'm a fan.
She's hilarious.
I think she's very cute and funny.
Yes. But look. I'll see you. Joel was like, I'm sorry, what?
Okay.
She looked great in that. She really did. It's so funny because I kind of forgot she was in that show. Like just when I saw her in Everything Everywhere All at Once, I was like, oh shit, that is her. Like I just completely didn't associate them like right away. Like it wasn't until like the second time I saw it that I realized it was her. And she's really good on Marvelous Miss Maisel. So, all right.
I think that's coming back next month or
Yeah,
May or something.
It comes out in April.
I need to finish the last season. I haven't finished it actually, which is a shame because I really like that show. I think 5 is a good stopping point. Like it feels like it's the last season, yeah. I think it's ready to end, and it did really well, but it's ready to end.
That show has kind of run its course, right? Like there's only so much, especially after season 3 when she didn't go with Shy Baldwin and she's still in New York. Like, all right, well, I think it could have ended at season 4, but look, I'll take a last season. I'll take one last season.
Yeah.
Look. Before we get out of here, everybody's got homework to do. This Sunday, Succession is back, so I need you all to watch it so that we can talk about it. If you haven't caught up, Terrence, you got till Sunday to watch 3 seasons of a television show.
Hour-long episodes.
How many episodes is in a season?
Probably
24?
8 to 12. 8 to 12, something like that. So, I mean, look, you got to think about it like this, right? You got to think about it like this. That's like 4 runs of the Snyder Cut. Right? Like you can do it. You can knock out 4 runs of the Snyder Cut.
I mean, here's the thing.
I can knock out 40 episodes in 3 days. Sure, why not? Like that's literally.
Well, no, technically you don't have till Sunday. You have till Thursday. So you just got to make it. You got to finish before we see you again. Like that's it.
That's true.
You got time. By the way,
there's 29 episodes out right now. There's 29 hours of television.
Yo, that's insane.
Bang out before next week.
But you know what? That show's real good, dude. Like that. When I got into that show, I was like during the pandemic. I was working from home. I literally had my laptop set up while I was working, and I just had the TV on, and I was just burning through episode after episode. Like, this show is super good. It's great. By the way, Creed 3 releases on digital platforms next week, March 31st.
Oh, fuck.
Well, there you go.
Because they desperately terribly underestimated how good that movie was going to do.
Damn.
Oh, well, cool. I haven't seen Creed 3, so I guess I'll watch it on digital next week.
What day?
March 31st.
What's it? 23rd?
It's
Friday.
Okay.
I don't know. I wouldn't know. How would I know? Anyway, I'll let you guys know what I think of Creed 3 next week. I'm very excited to see it. All right. That's it for us.
I'm interested to talk to you guys about it because I like it, but boy, does it have some problems.
Oh. You hate. All right. We will see you guys next week.
See you.
Take it easy.